Okay. Excuse the anxiety. Okay. Look. You got me thinking if it was really worth it, putting in all of this effort just to end up less than perfect. But are not great defenses something used for our protection? Or are they just another way to force out imperfections? I guess I'm just effective, pointed in the wrong direction. The library in my head is one fucked up selection. Now children pay attention and you'll receive attention, cause after this I'll ask you an array of questions. Alright. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? And welcome to the 40 Ounce Fridays podcast, episode 54. This is indeed and is in fact our season 2 finale. Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what else to say besides that. It's been fun. We've been doing the podcast a little over a year now, and we've gotten to this point where we're just like, fuck, dude, 54 episodes. So we're over the halfway mark to 100. Hopefully the audio sounds good. I'm not recording in the walk-in. I'm just in my room, general space, just because I want to get the walk-in better set up for, season 3. So I was like, I'll just move it out here right now. It's also kind of late. It's almost like 1 a.m. as I'm recording this. Got caught up with a lot of stuff. Some personal things. Got bummed out for a little bit part of the day. Nothing too serious, just kind of like was in a mood. It wasn't like a recording mood. I didn't want to record and be bitchy. But, yeah, dude, we're here. Nothing too exciting for this season finale. Pretty straightforward. I do have a few quick news things to talk about and a few other things to talk about in regards to certain presentations that have happened recently, including today. I am recording this technically on July 23rd, on a Thursday, since it's almost 1. But we're going to say this is everything I've gotten from July 22nd on Wednesday. I don't know how long this one will be. I don't think it'll be too long. We're going to talk about the quick news. We're going to do the Season 1 finale Yu Yu Hakusho retrospective for episode 28, the first fight. And that'll be about it, and we'll wrap up. First things first, I want to go ahead and say that the date for when season 3 will start. Let me look it up on my calendar really quick just to make sure it is correct. I was mulling it over today of how many weeks I want to take off to get myself prepared for that. So I believe we shall be starting season 3 of the 40 Ounce Fridays podcast, which will be episode 55 on August 14th. So on August 14th, we will be doing the Season 3 premiere of the 40 Ounce Fridays podcast, starting off with episode 55. Which means we'll be taking, 3 weeks off? 2 weeks. 2 weeks off. So the next 2 weeks, on the 31st, so at the end of July, and the first Friday of August, there will be no 40 Ounce Fridays podcast. I'm just going to take those 2 weeks to chill, get more stuff together with moving still. I mean, I'm pretty much all moved in, but there's still the situation with my chair. Shit happened with that, and I ended up getting a refund, and they sent the chair back because they never properly delivered it to me. Fuck FedEx, by the way. So there's that. I'm gonna get that figured out. Just some other stuff too. And then I want to get the walk-in closet better cleaned up and better prepared for recording. Probably do a little testing stuff for that. But yeah, that's the plan. So the next 2 weeks, don't expect new episodes. But August 14th, 2020, Season 3, Episode 55 of the 40 Ounce Fridays podcast. And we should go smoothly from there all the way through until the end of the year. Season 3, I want to just make it until episode 75. So what is that, like 20, 21 episodes, something like that, I believe. Let's count. If I don't miss weeks, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It will be 20 episodes. Because I want to end it on season 5. or season 5, not, I don't want to end the podcast on season 5. I want to end season 3 of the podcast on episode 75. That way, every season's like a quarter. It's like 25 episodes. And then season 4 will be 76 to 100. You know what I mean? So, I believe that's like 21 episodes total. So something like that. So we'll be shifting. Instead of doing 28 episodes a season, it'll be 25 episodes a season. So I believe the season 3 finale will be January 1st. Something like that. We'll figure it out. When we get there. Who knows? But anywho, that's it for introductions. Let's go ahead and get into these bits of quick news. Real quick. So here is the quick news. Pretty much, earlier this week, I don't remember the exact date, but earlier this week, we did have a Nintendo Mini Direct. And people were not pleased with this Direct at all. And I just want to go ahead and say you guys are being whiny little bitch babies about it. I'm gonna be 100% real and 100% honest about that. First of all, we knew it was a Mini Direct. Nintendo said it was a Mini Direct. Nintendo also announced that this would be for third-party titles, and it wasn't for major titles, and mainly just updates on a lot of third-party titles we already knew of. We were going into this Direct knowing that Direct wasn't going to be special or anything too exciting, and we got 2 surprise reveals, actually. One of those being Shin Megami Tensei 5, the fabled game, the fabled next game in the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, got I think it was another trailer and an official release date year. It should be coming out in 2021. So this is the first update we've gotten for Shin Megami Tensei 5 in years, honestly, I think. So you SMT fans, my 2 roommates included, they're huge on the series. They're the ones that got me into Persona. I still haven't played a Shin Megami Tensei game yet, though, but I do want to. They're super stoked for it. Also, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is coming to the Switch later this year. So, okay, damn, awesome as fuck. I thought that was cool. And then some other indie stuff, and that was about it. And this Direct has a horrible like to dislike ratio on YouTube. I think when I saw it, it was like maybe like 10 to 20,000 difference between the likes and the dislikes. It was like that close. There's more likes than dislikes, but barely. And I'm just like, what are y'all mad about? It's like, first of all, I want to go ahead and say on Twitter, a lot of people have already been talking about this, but a lot of you guys were hyping this shit up when Nintendo said don't get hype. It's a small Direct for some third-party stuff. Don't get hype. And yet you guys still expected Pokemon news for some reason. You still expected news about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Or a Mario collection, like classic collection announcement or some shit like that. I don't know why you expected it though, because they said what the Direct was for. They literally hyped this Direct up to not be hyped. And you guys still are mad about shit you weren't promised. How are you this entitled? It like baffles me. It honestly does. I'm just like, they literally expressed like, hey, here's what it is. And honestly, people are saying like, yeah, I agree, people need to calm down, you guys need to relax, it's not that big of a deal, and you guys got your hopes up for no reason. But the Direct was still bad. That Direct was not bad. Shut the fuck up. I am so sick of people equating to games they personally don't play being announced at some kind of live event or Direct as making the whole thing bad. You didn't like it because it wasn't fitting your taste. That's different than the presentation being bad. And I'm gonna get to a bad presentation in a minute, because there was one that happened today and I was fucking annoyed with it. But to say like, oh, I don't really play any of these games, this Direct sucked. No, it didn't. You just weren't interested in any of the titles. That doesn't mean the presentation was bad. I honestly don't think it was bad. It was okay. It was alright. And Shin Megami Tensei 5 got announced. So come on now, y'all. Calm down. Let people have things that they like too. I don't understand this negative aura coming off of this Direct. It really makes no sense. Relax. That that's all I have to say about that for the direct, because there wasn't much to say. It was a mini direct. It was straightforward. People started bitching, got mad. I don't see why they got mad, and that's all I wanted to discuss. Like, I think this podcast might even be less than an hour. It's gonna be really short, just because I'm ready to get season 3 going. Maybe I'll talk about some other little bits after the retrospective, just some personal news, but we'll see when we get there. But I want to talk about another live presentation that within the gaming world that happened today as of recording this, technically yesterday, but July 22nd. Bandai did a live event for like anime games, and it was fucking trash. It was fucking garbage. It was awful, guys. I was so disappointed. That shit was like not even 30 minutes, maybe like 30 to 40 minutes long, and it was so fucking dry. I'm gonna tell you what got announced. One thing I was excited for, the one thing I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's cool. It was the first thing they announced. I believe it was some My Hero news. We know Mai Hatsume is going to be the next DLC character in My Hero 1 Justice 2. By the way, I wanted to bring up some My Hero stuff. I'll bring that up after this presentation because I actually am kind of excited for the stuff coming to 1's Justice 2. I am a fan of it. I don't think it's the greatest game in the world, but it is one of the few arena fighters that learns from its mistakes when creating its sequel. So I very much like the game. So we'll talk about that in a second. But we got some One Piece news, like I believe new DLC characters for Pirates Warrior 4, Wave 1 DLC. So we're getting Charlotte Smoothie, Charlotte Cracker, and Vinsmoke Judge. So if you're One Piece fans, which I'm sure a lot of you listening right now are huge One Piece fans. One Piece is one of the biggest anime in the world. I'm sure you have Pirate Warriors, even if you're not a big fan of the Warrior series games, just because it's One Piece. Be excited for those, and it also looks like they're having 2 more waves of DLC come out over the course of the rest of the year. Because I believe Wave 3, it didn't show the characters, of course, but it said Winter 2020. So expect these waves to be done by the end of the year. But it looks like we're getting a total of 9 DLC characters through this DLC pass. And packs of 3 at a time over the course of the rest of the year. So that's exciting. I've heard not much about the Pirate Warrior series, honestly, or about Pirate Warriors 4. It came out, and that was it. So the one review I saw of it was from Gloku. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Check out my boy Gloku. He does a lot of anime gaming content for stuff like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Dragon Ball FighterZ, My Heroes 1 Justice 2. He's honestly the dude I reference a lot when we're like thinking about arena fighters or anime fighters in general. He's good on that. I love his content. He did a review and he was like, yeah, it's whatever. And it looked like a whatever game. I'm into the Warrior series. I like the hack and slashy stuff. The only reason why I didn't get Pirate Warriors 4 was because I kind of want to have friends that I know I'll play with, since it has the multiplayer like online feature stuff. And until then, I'm probably not going to get it, and at that point I'm probably going to wait for it to drop in price. So that's me. And then they announced the One Piece Stampede movie, the dub Blu-ray release. I know a lot of people don't like the One Piece dub. I like certain voices for the One Piece dub, but for the most part I don't think the One Piece dub is a very good dub adaptation. And that's coming from a person who mainly watches dubs. I can tolerate it. Like, I can watch One Piece dubbed, but I don't think it's very good, you know? They got the voice, the same person that voices Kid Gohan to voice Luffy, and it's the same exact voice. Taking a sip of water, sorry. So it's just like, but yeah, there's that. And then they had like a One Piece Treasure Cruise ad. It wasn't any, because that game's been out. It was like an ad, and they tried to sell it like an old-timey TV ad. And another thing I want to say about this event, the hosts of the events, they were so unenthusiastic. Like you could tell that it was like heavy scripted. And I know a lot of times for these live events and presentations and stuff, you can tell the shit is scripted, but like at least like the person doing it will have a little bit of character, you know, added to them, little personality, a little flair. They were like, wow, yeah, you guys heard it here first. One Piece Treasure Cruise, the One Piece mobile game where you can collect thousands of your favorite pirates from around the One Piece universe and form your dream team. And it's absolutely, it just felt so like generic and boring. So that happened. What else? There's some Shinobi Strikers DLC got announced for the season wave 3, so the season 3 stuff for Shinobi Strikers. If anyone still plays Shinobi Strikers, I actually heard over the course of like the time after its initial launch that the game did show signs of improvement, but it just hasn't been enough as of late. And people are saying like they rather have adjustments and fixes to the game rather than new characters. So it looks like they might be running into the same problem that Xenoverse 2 has, where they just keep adding DLC characters instead of fixing things such as netcode and other various additions and edits to the skills that are super broken or super nerfed and need to be repaired, and actual additions people want, like new hairstyles instead of wigs and moving working tails instead of these stiff weird tail models, that like shit like that. They're not giving the people what they want. And as a huge fan of Xenoverse 2, I've talked about it, I agree that that's a major problem that we'll probably never see fixed until Xenoverse 3, hopefully whenever that fucking is announced. I've given up all hope. Xenoverse 2 at this point is a DLC dump, and people are like, well, if you keep buying it, they're going to keep making it. And I'm like, not necessarily, because I feel like sales have probably gone down for the DLCs, and especially over like the last year and a half. But you know what? I also could be wrong, because I believe Xenoverse 2 has now sold 6 million copies and counting. So, fuck, who knows what's going to happen? Which is why we're getting this free update with the Supreme Kai time and stuff to celebrate the 6 million downloads. That's crazy. But that was it for Shinobi Strike. Also, no Xenoverse 2 news. We got absolutely no Xenoverse 2 news from this presentation, which is weird because you think this would be the perfect time to show like an official like full trailer for DLC 11 for the free update, the 6 million copy update kind of thing. You think, because we've got like V-Jump scans and like articles and little leaks and sources about this upcoming DLC, but we have yet to actually get like an official full-on dedicated trailer to this DLC. And that's kind of weird because I feel like this DLC should have been out already. I don't think it should be taking as long as it is, especially if it's only one character. It looks like we're only getting Supreme Kai time added, which is a first. Usually we get 2 DLC characters added, but if this DLC is in fact free, then it makes sense why we're only getting 1, because it's free. So that's cool. But yeah, people were expecting a trailer. People were expecting a trailer, or at the very least an official release date, and we didn't get that. We also have gotten no news on Fighters. We have no clue who the next DLC character for Fighters is going to be, and we have no hint of that, and we have no trailer coming for it as of now, as of we know. So it's just kind of like, fuck, dude. I feel like we got shafted. Also, we're supposed to get a new Dragon Ball game every year as per Bandai's like license with the Dragon Ball company, something like that. They usually release a new Dragon Ball game every year, whether it be like a sequel like a Xenoverse 2 or just a brand new IP like when Fighters came out a year after Xenoverse 2. We're supposed to get a new game, so I don't know. I doubt we're getting a Fighters 2 just because the first Fighters is still currently in its Season 3 pass. We're still waiting on those other characters to be announced, like I said. So maybe a Xenoverse 3? Maybe a new IP in general? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot 2? No. Nobody wants a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot 2. But yeah, no Dragon Ball news whatsoever. We got the Shinobi Striker stuff. What else happened? And then they did Code Vein. The Code Vein thing was weird, though. Not Code Vein, I'm sorry. Scarlet Nexus. It's from, like, the same, like, style as, like, Code Vein and God Eater, if you've played those games before. God Eater's pretty fun. I haven't played Code Vein, but I've seen people make the coolest fucking character designs in it, so... And, so people are interested in Scarlet Nexus, because it plays in that style. It's an original, like, JRPG from Bandai, and people thought we were getting a trailer, because they said Scarlet Nexus news coming. We did not get a Scarlet Nexus trailer. What we got was an app to download and scan a QR code to get more information on Scarlet Nexus. So wait, what the fuck? We have to scan this QR code in order to access information about it? I don't know if this information is a trailer. I don't know if it's just extra info dumps, pictures, screenshots, or footage of the game. I have no fucking clue, because I didn't scan the QR code, because I'm not going to fucking do that right now. Like, what? Why not just show the trailer? You're right here. Instead, they did a Q&A with one of the people working on the game, I believe. That's when I started, like, losing interest. I stopped paying attention, because it was just a Q&A. And then after that Q&A, that was it. That was the presentation. It was over. And then these niggas, these dry-ass hosts... had the audacity to say, yeah, we gave you a lot of cool new anime content and info today. It's like, you gave us nothing. You gave us nothing. Sorry about the loud car speeding by. Like I said, I'm in the main part of my room and not the walk-in. But they gave us nothing. We got, like, some dry-ass One Piece news. Like, we got some dry-ass Shinobi Strikers news. We got some dry-ass Scarlet Nexus QA. Oh, they also did an ad for, like, this mobile Gundam game. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know if the trailer was very accurate of it or not. I have no idea what the fuck it was. But we got that too, so, but who the fuck cares? I fucking forgot about it, clearly. And that was it. And some My Hero stuff at the beginning. The only stuff I'm hyped for is My Hero, and that's a personal thing. Like, I like One's Justice too, but even I can say that's not, like, saving a full-on presentation. I think they also showed, like, some Sword Art stuff, some other shit. I don't know. It sucked, is what I'm saying. Like, they were, like, big flexing. Like, they just gave us, like, this long hour and a half presentation with all these cool new games and new info coming out. It was like a DLC dump. And, like, not a good DLC dump. It was like a DLC dump, some shitty mobile game ads, and this weak-ass Q&A on Scarlet Nexus. This was a bad presentation. That Nintendo Mini Direct was not a bad presentation. It was okay. But also, we were expecting what we got, so I don't understand why people are so mad. This was bad. Because Bandai was hyping it up like this shit was about to be fire. It was the exact opposite. It was trash. It was a dumpster fire. Yeah, so I hated it. But one thing I am excited for is the new My Hero stuff coming up soon for the next little update. So, like I said before, the next DLC character will in fact be Mai Hatsume, it looks like. I can't say for sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I didn't see the whole presentation. I missed like the beginning part of it. But I saw a trailer get uploaded of Mai Hatsume gameplay, and it didn't look like a mod. It looked like, oh, she's actually going to be in the game. And I've also looked up info online, and people are saying she's the next DLC character, so I'm pretty sure she's the next DLC character. I can comfortably say that. So, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there's multiple videos saying My Hero's One's Justice 2, My Hatsume gameplay trailer, English dub. Yeah, there's several trailers for it. Yeah, people, it's true. I'm kind of excited for that. If you guys don't remember who Mai Hatsume is from My Hero Academia, she was the girl who's in the support class of the school at UA. She has like the little pink braidy hair, and she's like super obsessed with everything she invents. She made her debut at the school sports festival arc, and she was interesting. She only was there to kind of like flex her inventions, and she wasn't really there to win the tournament and the festival. And then she later appears in the part where Deku is getting like his boots reinforced for when he gets shoot style, and then we also see her again when he's getting his gloves reinforced for Air Force. She's in the support club. She's the one decking Deku out with some fresh ass gear, and she's also obsessed with her machines and inventions that she calls her babies. Her quirk is called Zoom. I believe it gives her kind of like these scope zoom in eyes. So it doesn't look like her quirk's going to play a huge factor in her fighting style. For what I saw from the little gameplay trailer we got, it's more so that the tools and inventions she makes and utilizes will be the things playing a major role in how her character works. So that's going to be interesting to see. Someone who doesn't really heavily utilize their quirk, but instead heavily utilizes items and tools. Because the way My Hero's One's Justice 2 works, because that's the one we're talking about, is you have your combos, but they play key factors in your quirk factors. So like your moves will have like quirk factor 1 or like quirk ability 2 or something. That's what they're labeled as. And they do certain like moves or certain combos or trigger certain chains. But it involves you using the character's actual quirks, which is one thing I praise this game for. It makes every character feel unique in their fighting style, and not everyone plays the same because everyone utilizes such drastically different abilities. But with Mai, it's not like she's going to be utilizing a quirk, she's going to be utilizing tools. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. But I was not expecting her to be the next character announced. I honestly wasn't. I thought it was going to be Gentle. I 100% thought it was going to be Gentle. I really want Mirko. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. The rabbit hero, the number 5 pro hero in the world. She's bae, she is life, I love her. I want, that's waifu. That is best girl in series. And I want my girlfriend to cosplay as her, because my girlfriend's tall and pretty. So, but, I thought it was going to be Gentle. And then, so I was shocked. I was like, really? Especially after Hawks got announced first. When Hawks got announced first, I was like, oh, Gentle will have to be the second character. Because Gentle was introduced before Hawks, wasn't he? Or at the very least, no, I'm pretty sure it was before Hawks. We didn't see Hawks until he got shown as the number 2 hero. I believe that's when he officially made his debut into the series. But, yeah, so I was like, fuck, it really wasn't Gentle. I'm kind of going to be disappointed if Gentle doesn't make it into the game, because he's such a cool hero, and at the very least, even if you didn't like that part of the story, which you a bum-ass nigga if you didn't, it was a cool part of the story, but his quirk would be really cool to have in-game. The way that he makes everything elastic, including the air, he could like use that to bounce off shit. That'd be so fun to play in that game, especially the way they play with quirk factors and how quirks work for a character's fighting style in the game. Oh, dude, he'd be a great character. Not hating on Mai, I think that's a great surprise addition. It's a great character that was unexpected to be added, but I don't think anyone's going to be really complaining about it. People like Mai. Mai's an interesting character. I don't think I've seen a lot of people hate on Mai before. It's probably because she has titties. But I'm excited for her. So I believe she's coming out in the summertime, which we're currently in. We're about to end the summertime. So I'm expecting her to be out, if not late August, early September. That's in my head when she'll probably be added. Maybe earlier. It's going to have to be by August. I don't think she's coming out in July. If she does, cool. That means she came out pretty quick. But also, I believe Nomu is going to be released as a free DLC character once Mai gets released as for the paid DLC for the season pass. You can buy Mai separately, or you get her automatically if you've already bought the season pass, like myself. But Nomu was a pre-order bonus originally for My Hero One Justice 2, but they already said that he would later become available for anyone else who purchases the game after the initial pre-order dates. So people have just kind of been waiting for Nomu to come in. I hear Nomu's alright. I'm down to have him. I'm not mad, especially if he's free. So I'll get to try him out and see how he works. And then we still have another 3 DLC characters coming, I believe. So for predictions for me personally, I still believe Gentle is coming. Like, he has to be in this DLC wave. I'll be so shocked if Gentle doesn't get added to the game. He was in Season 4, first of all, and this game focuses on Season 4. I think it focuses on like the second half of Season 3 and then the first half of Season 4. So, and Hox is in the fucking end of Season 4. Like, he's at the last little arc that takes place in Season 4. So, I'd be surprised if Gentle wasn't in game, especially considering the fact that Mai got announced, and she's a support character. Like, yeah, she was in that arc with Gentle, but she wasn't the main focus. Gentle and Deku and their similarities. Like, a lot of people I just want to do a little aside. A lot of people misinterpret what Deku said when he's like, honestly, Gentle, you're the hardest fight I've had thus far. People are misinterpreting that as like Deku saying Gentle is like the strongest opponent he's ever faced or some shit like that. That's not what he meant. He's not saying like, oh man, he was stronger than Overhaul. Like, clearly he fucking wasn't. He's saying that in like terms of like comparing personalities and their wills and what drives them. They both had this drive to succeed in their goal. Their goals happened to clash. Gentle became a criminal because of the situations that led him up to that point when he was growing up and when he was in UA. And Deku kind of can relate to that feeling of wanting to succeed and push yourself and have that goal. That's what he meant when he said Gentle was his toughest fight, because they had such strong connection in terms of like what was pushing them. Like, they had this drive. It was just the cause and effect. So we're different. They were on different sides, but they felt the same about their convictions, if that makes sense. That's what he meant. People always misinterpret shit from shows. And it's like, dude, it's a story. Of course there's going to be things that are meant to be taken, like, metaphorically. It's a personification or something. Like when Deku did the 1,000,000% Detroit Smash on Muscular back in Season 3, people took that as him literally using 3,000% of his power. Not 3,000%, 1,000,000% of his power. He wasn't literally using 1,000,000%. First of all, he would disintegrate. That boy would turn to ash before he even dealt any damage. What he meant was, it was like a battle cry. He was hyping himself up to do his best. Proof of that is there's a writer's note in the manga where Horikoshi, forgive me if I'm butchering his name, I believe his name is Horikoshi or Horikoshi. Horikoshi. You know what? I feel disrespectful not pronouncing his name right. What's his name? I'm gonna Google it. But the writer from My Hero Academia even has a little note saying it's not supposed to be literal, because people were commenting on it, and he was saying it's not supposed to be taken literal. It's Deku hyping himself up to go beyond, to go play. It's like a plus ultra kind of thing, you know. It's when All Might's like, go beyond plus ultra, like the motto of the show. That's what it's supposed to be. So, but people were like, man, I call bullshit. And it's just like, yeah, guys, that's not what he meant. And that's why when niggas make simplistically written stories, people get mad that they're simplistically written, even though you don't understand shit that's not even that complex. Horikoshi. Kohei Horikoshi. That is the writer of My Hero Academia. I apologize for butchering your name, Horikoshi-sama. You do great work. I love My Hero. But yeah, we're getting we're doing that. I hope we get Gentle. I'm pretty sure we're getting Gentle. I hope we get Mirko. Forgive me if I'm butchering her name too, but I love her. She's great. And I hope we get Red Riot Unbreakable. That's like my unlikely prediction. Like, Gentle is the one I'm almost certain is coming. Mirko is one I'm hoping to have, and I'm pretty sure could be added still. And Red Riot Unbreakable, like that version of Kirishima, is like my unlikely wish. And I'm like, and it's not like they couldn't do it, because they have different variations of characters. There's like 3 Dekus, 2 Overhauls, 2 Shigarakis. They could add another Kirishima that had the fucking, like a more improved moveset. Maybe he's more combo oriented in that moveset, and then his supers can involve his Unbreakable mode. That's something I would be super down for. So I hope, because Kirishima is my favorite character in the series. So just saying. Also getting added into My Heroes One's Justice is a photo mode. And I am a sucker for a photo mode, bro. I fuck around with Xenoverse 2 photo mode all the time. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. You should play Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, by the way. Especially the Switch version. Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. You should go ahead and do that. They got a demo. The demo is about 10 hours long. Give it a try. It's a good game. Just saying. I'm just saying you should get it. Please get it. I'm begging you. Please play it. I can't wish for this enough, please. But yeah, so we're getting to photo mode. I believe it can have up to 4 characters on screen at once, so you can choose the stages. I believe you can also choose the costumes. You can choose poses too, and you can do like after screenshot decorations. So after you take the shot, you can add little colorful decorations, borders, backgrounds, possibly. And I find that to be dope. I think a photo mode is always fun, especially since photo modes are usually always free. So can't ever really complain about those, because it's like, come on, dude, it's free. What are you mad about? It's a free little photo mode. I'm a sucker for photo mode, so I definitely will be on photo mode fucking around. Especially if you can have multiple characters on screen. That's the one thing I've wanted for Xenoverse 2. You can only do photo mode for 1v1. I wish you could set it up for like 2v2s or 3v3s to do like special little setups. I would love to do like a shot of Goku, Gohan, and Goten doing like the family Kamehameha wave technique against Brawly, like from the Brawly Second Coming movie. I think that movie sucks. The only good Brawly movie from the OG Brawly is the first one. They did not need to milk that character that much, but I love that scene, that clash, like the family Kamehameha versus Brawly. I would love to recreate that scene, and you can't do it because Xenoverse 2's photo mode only does 1v1. So I would love for a 2v2, 3v3 setup, or even like a 1v3 or 2v2. Because I was like, I can always just take 2 characters and for Brawly's team and like move them out of the way so they're not in the shot. But I would love to do cool shit like that, and I feel like you can make cool little fun little shots even better. So I'm glad My Heroes One Justice is letting you do that. And I'm curious as to how many poses and what specifically can you do. Like, can you show 2 people clashing? Is it just cool little cutesy poses? We'll see when we get there. And I also believe we're getting more customization items for the villains specifically, which I'm fine with because I feel like a lot of the heroes, like mainly the students, have a good couple of customizations. I wish there were more for everyone in general, but it's cool that the villains are getting new ones, and I believe that's free as well. It's not something you have to pay to get. Photo mode is also free. It's 100% free. I'm pretty sure it is. If you have to pay for photo mode, that's a lot of bullshit. But yeah, My Heroes One Justice 2. It's nice to see that not only is it getting content updates for like DLC characters, and it does get balance patches. When Hawks came out, we got a big patch for almost the entire roster, so it shook things up a little bit for the tier list, just a little bit. And not only that, it's nice to see that we're not only getting new characters, but we're getting new content for the game. Like when Hawks got added, the dub voice track, like they added like a full dub to My Heroes One Justice 2 that wasn't available at launch, and something that was heavily requested in the first game was a dub for the game, and it was a surprise. No one knew it was coming until it already had been like added in. So that was cool. I thought that was a cool addition, and it's just little quality of life changes like that that are really going to add to the longevity and the play times of this game, like the concurrent players. And now we're getting little updates with new customization. Nomu's finally getting added for free for everyone, and a photo mode. So if they keep doing little stuff like that, it'll help. Especially especially if the customization items that get added over time are free. Like if you don't have to even if you have to purchase them in packs. Let's say like it was like $4 to get this pack or some shit. I'm sure people wouldn't be like drastically upset about that because they're just cosmetics at the end of the day. But like even stuff like that, as long as you're still actively like trying to balance and patch at the game and fix bugs and glitches. So we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. One last thing. I was talking about this quick news longer than I thought. Two things, actually. So this podcast will probably be normal length because we still have the retrospective. One, I want to say that the fighting game Fantasy Strike is now free to play. So if you want to play Fantasy Strike, you can. Fantasy Strike is a fighting game. I forget who it's developed by. I remember hearing about it way back before it got announced. I believe it's like $20. It was $20 at launch, $30. And it was like a fighting game, and their whole thing was like it was supposed to be for beginners and veterans alike. So beginners can jump in, play the game, get used to fighting game mechanics more easily through this game, and veteran players can get a kick out of it too. I've heard mixed things. I've heard mostly good things about Fantasy Strike. Of course, there's people that think the game is trash and hate it, but you're always going to have people that don't like everything. So Fantasy Strike is going free to play. I believe it has a roster of 12 characters at launch, or 12 characters in the like base game, because those are all going to be free, and you can do like local. I think you can do like local versus against like the CPU, the training mode, maybe some online matches for free, and then it adds a few other modes that are playable if you buy the paid version. But in the free version, all 12 characters that come in the base game are available, and I believe they also are adding 2 DLC characters. You'll probably have to buy those characters, but that's cool that they're doing that. Excuse me, need some more water. But I feel like that's cool because that way you can add a fresh player base to your game. If people like the game and want to purchase like the newer characters or other modes, they can. And then they don't have to be burdened with the fact that like, oh, I spent this money on this game and I didn't really like it. They can play it for free, try it out, see how it goes. Hopefully that works out for them. I wish them the best. I never wish failure on any game, regardless of how good or how bad it turns out in the end. So we'll see how that goes. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, going back to that Nintendo Direct, people were so petty about not liking this Direct that they review bombed not 1, not 2, not even 3, but the entire Shin Megami Tensei franchise. They went on Metacritic and review bombed every single Shin Megami Tensei game, including the Persona series, because it technically is a Shin Megami Tensei series. It's just a spin-off. So it's originally called Shin Megami Tensei Persona. They review bombed every fucking game. Every fucking version of a game, just every fucking game in that series. Why? Why is it that serious? When does it get to a point where it ever needs to be that serious? Grow the fuck up. Like, some of you should not have children, is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these people are fucking acting like the biggest fucking babies I've ever seen. And it's just like, bro, why? Like, why though? Like, low scores, like 2s and 3s. I think the highest score I saw for one was like a 6, but that's when I saw the original post. But like, people really went as far as to start bombing these games because they were mad that these games got announced for Switch. Like, it goes back to what I said. Just because you don't like a fucking game doesn't mean that it's bad. You don't have to be a Shin Megami Tensei fan. That has a very niche audience. Persona 5, or Persona series in general, definitely appeals to a wider audience. But I think that's because it's not as grim as the SMT franchise, which is not a bad thing. Just because the SMT franchise is dark doesn't make it, like, bad. Just how I've always said, like, having a dark, edgy series doesn't make it a good series. Vice versa. But people complaining, people whining, people being bitchy. It's childish, honestly. Like, not a good look for the gaming community, especially the Nintendo fanboys. Because at the end of the day, they're still gonna open up their wallets and buy all this shit anyway. People bitched and whined about Pokemon Shield all the way up until its release. And regardless of how you feel about that game, I fully respect your opinion. If you played it and you didn't like it, that's you, bro. You played it, you gave it a shot, and you gave your honest thoughts. We don't all have to like the same thing. I'm talking about the people that bitched and complained and said they weren't going to buy the game. And everyone was like, this game's going to bomb so hard, no one's going to get it. It sold extremely well. Pokemon Sword and Shield sold extremely well and is still selling extremely well currently. And people bought the fuck out of that expansion pass. So I'm just saying, well, Kyle, you bought the expansion pass. I'm like, yeah, because I like the game. I like Sword and Shield. So I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'll buy more content for Sword and Shield. Because I like Sword and Shield. I've already talked about that. It's not the greatest game in the world, but I don't think any Pokemon game is honestly that fucking great. In terms of personal enjoyment, I had a great fucking time. Objectively looking at the game, it's an okay game. But I will say that about any Pokemon game. They're all okay to me. So, sorry. But that's it. Let's jump into this retrospective and then we can wrap things up. So, I'm glad I got to talk about a fair bit of quick news today. I'm glad I got to have a good time filling you guys in on some stuff so it's not as dry of a podcast. But anywho, let's get on to our final retrospective we'll be doing on the podcast. Like I said, I'm going to start doing the retrospectives exclusively on the YouTube channel. I'll probably plug that in the description of this podcast episode so you can check out the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel also has not every podcast. I think it's missed a couple of uploads for some reason. But almost every podcast episode is on our YouTube channel as well. And I've created a little playlist for it, so you can just click on the playlist and go ahead and give it a watch. So, yeah, the Yu Yu Hakusho videos are going to be going up on that channel for the retrospectives. I am also going to start trying to do Yu Yu Hakusho lore videos. Like lore, facts about techniques, character summaries and analyses, arc summaries and analyses, like shit like that. I want to do stuff like how Geekdom 101 does with Dragon Ball content, or how Swag Kage does with Naruto content. Just kind of be that historian, but for Yu Yu Hakusho, because I really love that series. I'm also going to be doing like unpopular opinions on there, or hot takes. Just my opinions personally. If they're a hot take or an unpopular opinion, then that's what it is. I'm not doing it for the sake of that, but just little short, little rants or my honest opinion about something really quick that I don't think would fully fit into the podcast. So check that out. It should probably start up. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start doing that for the YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description for the podcast, the channel that is. But I'll keep you guys posted on the podcast about how that's going. And we'll get there when we get there. I still have a lot of things to get set up and things to practice when it comes to video editing and shit like that. But yeah, last Yu Yu retrospective of the podcast. This is episode 28, The First Fight. So we're going to go ahead and go straight into it. We're at the Dark Tournament Arena. Koto's center stage. She's ready to see some blood. The audience is ready to see some blood. And the blood will surely be spilled in this first battle. I can't even say that with a straight face. So Koto goes ahead and announces the teams, starting off with the Demon Underdog team. These team is seen as kind of like low-class scum amongst the demon world, which is why they're seen as like these popular favorites off the bat. A lot of the demons in the crowd are lower-class demons, so they can relate, and they're just like, yeah, they're fighting for the little man. It's Team Rikuyakai. So we see Rinku, we see Zero, and we see 3 other gentlemen with them, one of them being Roto, who also competes in this round of the tournament. But that is for Season 2 discussion. And these 2 other guys are not important. Fuck them. But they pull up, everyone's super hype, everyone's really excited, and then we announce the guest team. They announce our boys, man. You know, Team Urameshi. We got Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei Kurama, and the Masked Fighter pulling up. Yusuke's still dead ass asleep. Kuwabara has to walk him in, and they are greeted with nothing but boos and just complete disgust and hatred for their entire existence. And this, we've already kind of gotten the tone set that no one expects them to come out of this tournament alive. Everyone expects them to die. No one thinks they're going to win. They are the underdogs. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to try not to yawn. It's getting super late. Let's get through this. But let's get through it nice and proper. They are the underdogs, but not only are they the underdogs, people fucking hate them. I don't think we've gotten to the full extent of how much these demons fucking hate Team Urameshi. We already knew that there was dislike. We already knew that people were not rooting for them and that people were like, you niggas is dead first day. But there is so much hatred for these guys. They are immediately greeted by nothing but boos and kill Yusuke, kill Yusuke. Like, they want this nigga dead. And it's probably because Yusuke is essentially like these niggas' worst nightmares. Over the course of the last, I believe I made a mistake too. Last week I said they trained 2 months. They trained 3 months before the Dark Tournament. Plus the 3 months of Genkai's training. Plus however much time has passed in between with other arcs and situations. So just about a year. Yusuke has been going around and killing anything that bumps in the night that threatens him, the homies, the city, or the world. So he's kind of built up quite a rep for himself when it comes to like, you know, Goki, Kurama, and Hiei situation, the Genkai tournament with Rando, the Four Saint Beast, Tarukane's Stronghold, shit like that. Like, he's made quite a name over the course of all these cases. So they know who he is, and they're just like, ah. And Yusuke's dead ass asleep. Yusuke is not scared of these niggas because, like Fife Dog says, because you know that I know that you know who I am. He is not intimidated. He is not threatened. He is prepared. Prepared to nap. So, teams meet in the middle. Meanwhile, in the big old, like, VIP suite, we see our boy, the manager of the team, Toguro, Sakio, in the stands with all the other rich folk who bet on these demon teams and, you know, risk it. And the dude who's bet on Team Rikuyakai and is fully funding them pretty much, explaining his reasoning. He was like, I would never vote for low-lives like that, but, you know, they live off the crowd's energy. So they could be propelled to the top and even beat your team Toguro with enough motivation. They'll fucking destroy Team Urameshi. Like, he has faith that these guys, since they're like seen as kind of like these lower level demons that the crowd loves, that the crowd's motivation is going to kind of like push them forward. Like, they're going to feed off that energy and love it and do the damn thing. And that's going to propel them to just work their way up through the tournament and even beat Team Toguro. Yeah, sure, kid. Sure, Jan. Sure. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But, Zero and Kuwabara holding Yusuke meet in the center of the ring. Zero being the leader of Team Rikuyakai, and Kuwabara acting as standing leader for Team Urameshi since Yusuke is asleep. They gotta talk out the rules. And you can feel, like, the manly energy in the air as these niggas stare each other down. Like, the crackling of the lightning and the shaking of the auras. This is serious business. And Zero's pretty much like, I don't give a fuck how we do this, bro. No matter what y'all gonna do, we gonna win. And Kuwabara's just like, look, bro, we're gonna fight this 1v1 man to man. So the rules are set. It's going to be a series of 1 versus 1 matches with the first team to score 3 wins, winning the round, and moving on to the next part of the tournament. So Zero's kind of annoyed by Kuwabara's remarks and the fact that Yusuke is still dead ass asleep. He takes it as an insult that this guy can sleep through all this danger and what seems to be like him being an imminent threat. So Zero flexes out some firepower and circles them in flames, just to kind of send a message, and Yusuke still doesn't wake up. So Zero's like standing there watching the fights for the rest of this round. very fucking annoyed. Like, why the fuck won't he notice me, senpai? I don't understand. Like, he just wants Yusuke Sensei to notice. He just wants him to see him. He's like, you don't see my fire, daddy? I'm hot. Come on now. But anywho, the first match gets ready to go down, and Rinku steps up into the field. And Kuwabara decides to take him on first. So this is the very first match of the Dark Tournament. And it kind of sets the tone for what could be some possible outcomes from matches. Not everything has to end in a gruesome, violent death, as we see later from Season 2 stuff. We won't be discussing that now. But just to cut to meanwhile outside of the tournament arena, everyone is gathered up. So Botan, Shizuru, and Keiko are all gathered up. And Botan's still worried about Keiko and Shizuru being here, but Keiko's like, no. If that nigga Yusuke here, we about to be here, we about to cheer him on. I'm about to be like, hey, Yusuke. No, but they're here to show their support, and they want to make sure everything's okay with Yusuke and Kuwabara. Koema is also pulled up, but he has not entered the arena yet, because he's kind of embarrassed to be called a toddler again. Yusuke made fun of him. Kuwabara was shocked at the fact that could possibly be like a leader of Spirit World, and the dude Yusuke gets his jobs from. So it's like, he's like, nigga, everyone just disrespects me. So then he gets the brilliant idea of using his powers to temporarily transform himself into more of an adult form, which he indeed does. So at the Season 1 finale, we finally see adult Koema. I know we see it in the first ending of Yu Yu Hakusho, in like one of the little scenes, but this is the first time we actually see it in series. Beautifully tall man with these striking eyes. Doesn't have his hat on anymore to reveal that he has black hair or brown hair, and he has these beautiful eyes. But he still wears the pacifier and has the junior on his forehead. Ticket Scalper tries to talk to him. They get their conversation, general Koema joking banter stuff. So let's get back to the arena. The fight is officially underway, and Kuwabara's like, you can take the first hit. So Kuwabara's already kind of cocky, which is gonna fuck him up at first, but he proves to have some tricks on his sleeves throughout the fight. We just won't see much of those in this episode, sadly. My boy. Oh, you did your thing though, Kuwabara. I still love you. You're still my favorite. You're still number one in my heart. So, Rinku then does indeed make the first move, showing his incredible speed to the point where Kuwabara can hardly even keep up with him. So on screen, it looks like multiple Rinkus are on screen at once, running around, dancing around, doing little tricks all around Kuwabara, and Kuwabara can't figure out which one is real. It's just all moving at such an incredible pace. It just looks like it's after him and just doing all this extra. And Rinku goes for like this flying kick. Kuwabara barely dodges it, but it scratches the side of his head and there's some blood. So we're already just like, oh fuck, Kuwabara's in a bad place. And Rinku then appears in front of him. Kuwabara tries to swing, Rinku vanishes, and he's like, where'd he go? Boom, Rinku's below him, springs up, kicks Kuwabara in his like fucking shin, knocks him back, keeps jumping around, and Kuwabara just kind of standing there, unable to do anything, unable to defend himself. He can't keep up with Rinku's speed. But Kuwabara learned a few things from his training, and also learned some very valuable, important lessons about focusing on sensing energy and finding energy. This can be implied due to the fact that Kuwabara is watching closely, and he ends up seeing Rinku's spirit energy trail. And Kuwabara's like, gotcha now! And he fucking slams his fist right down on the top of Rinku's head, sends him bouncing along the ground, and a few feet away from him. So everyone's kind of surprised and impressed. Like, hey, Kuwabara, you landed a blow. Good shit, my nigga. I feel it. We're about to find out that while it is impressive that Kuwabara is able to do this, it wasn't something he was kind of led to do it. And we'll get to that part in just a moment. So Rinku goes for some more hits. Kuwabara easily evades them, and Rinku tries to run, and Kuwabara is able to follow his energy trail. So even though he's not as fast as Rinku, he can keep up. So Kuwabara starts delivering some heavy fucking blows. You know Kuwabara, he's a street fighter, he's a brawler. So heavy kicks, heavy punches to the gut, knocking Rinku on the ground, knocking him along all over the battlefield. And Rinku's getting laid out. And Kurama's like, look at that, Kuwabara's doing it. And he is like, he's showing too much mercy. He needs to hurry up and finish this little nigga off. He has too much sympathy in his honor code. So he is like, look, dude, you wasting too much time. You need to get the job done. So, as Kuwabara runs in to deliver the finishing blow, he's not intending to kill Rinku. He just wants to knock him down for 10 counts. Even saying, like, just stay down until the ref counts to 10. So as he goes to deliver his finishing punch, Rinku stops playing. So Rinku vanishes, moving too fast for Kuwabara once again, appearing right behind him. Before Kuwabara can react or do anything as he's turning to face him, Rinku delivers a powerful kick directly to Kuwabara's kind of lower cheek area, twisting Kuwabara's head and essentially looking like it broke his neck. Like, that's how hard he kicked Kuwabara. He just straight up broke his neck in a single kick. It was as if that whole time they were fighting, from the point where they started and Rinku was moving too fast to the point where Kuwabara could follow his energy trail, Rinku was just hamming it up and playing big and acting like he got hurt at first for the crowd. He wanted to hype the crowd up. He wanted to give them a show. He didn't just want to beat Kuwabara and be done with it. He wanted to give the people what they wanted. And it looks like he did, as Kuwabara falls over, neck twisted, impact, and just hitting the ground hard. Even Koto's like, ew, his neck's all broken. And they're just pretty sure he's dead, but she still does the 10 count anyway. And Riku's like, I don't even know why you counting. I broke that nigga neck. It's done. Excuse me. I broke that nigga neck. He done. He dead. So as they're counting, guess who gets up? My boy Kuwabara. You can't keep a good nigga down is what I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So Kuwabara gets up and he looks up at Rinku. He's like, nigga. Shit ain't sweet out here. You thought my neck was broken. My neck ain't broken, B. Much to Rinku's kind of shock, he's pretty sure that he broke Kuwabara's neck. But what a lot of people don't know is Kuwabara is durable as fuck. And we've talked about this on the podcast in previous retrospectives. If there's one thing Kuwabara can do is surprise his opponents to the point where they're knocked off guard and he takes advantage with his true power, and take a fucking beating. And Kuwabara indeed survived a neck-breaking level injury. So he's made out of some durable stuff. If that didn't, twist his neck, it looked like his head might have spun in a different direction if he got kicked any harder. So Kuwabara's like, look, bro, it's gonna take more than that to take me down. I ain't playing. So the training did a lot more than just teach him how to sense energy better. It also seems to have made him even more durable than he already was. And he has a few new tools that he's gonna try to utilize in this next little segment. So this is the final part of the episode before the episode ends, and the season finale really puts Kuwabara in a tough cliffhanger position, because Rinku's like, all right, guy, you forced my hand. I got to get serious. I didn't think you were going to be that much of a problem. And Rinku pulls out yo-yos, his weapon of choice. So at first, Kuwabara doesn't seem too intimidated or impressed by them. It's just like a kid using yo-yos. What the fuck? I thought we was throwing hands. But Kurama and HiK can immediately sense there's something weird with those yo-yos, with those strings. And it's as if Rinku's own spirit energy is being infused with them. And Rinku starts talking about, you're about to feel the wrath of... Sorry, I dropped my phone. You're about to feel the wrath of the serpent yo-yo attack. And Kurama's like, what the fuck? Serpent yo-yo attack? So as Rinku jumps up and slings these yo-yos, we get a shot of Kuwabara unveiling a move he's only used one time in the anime, 2 times in the manga. The double spirit sword. And it sucks that he's only used this move 1 to 2 times in series canon, because it's so simple, but I just really like the way it's shot and animated in the anime. Like, they make it look so epic, like he channels up his energy, but instead of forming his one spirit sword, he forms up two, and he's like crossing blades, and he's like shing, shing. I was like, look at that! Kuwabara got moves, boy! Kuwabara out here with techniques! Fun fact, Kuwabara actually does indeed use the double spirit sword 2 times in the manga. One of those times being this fight against Rinku, but before that, in the manga, when they're on the boat being attacked by all the demons, after our masked fighter wins the little exhibition, our preliminary tournament battle, Kuwabara uses the double spirit sword on a few of those demons. That's when he first unveils that technique. One of the many things he can now do with his spirit energy since training with Kurama and Hiei over the course of 3 months. It seems a lot of Kuwabara's training focused on not only making sure he was ready for the extreme danger and violence the tournament held for him, thus making him more durable, probably mainly from his training with Kurama. It seems like he's learned new ways to utilize his sword, probably learning from Hiei, and new ways to manipulate his spirit energy, probably learned from both, but mainly Kurama. As we see more of that in the second part of the fight, which is the first episode of Season 2, but like I said, we'll talk about that another time. But that's one of the many moves he could utilize now, and he can also utilize his spirit energy in more bendy ways. Again, stuff for another time. But he forms out the double spirit sword as Rinku throws out his yo-yos. He's like, short toss! And at first, Kuwabara's kind of big smug, bro. He's just like, what? I'm just gonna swing my sword and knock the motherfuckers out the way. What do you mean? And as he tries, the yo-yos move. They like wiggle and adjust in midair. It's as if the strings are alive, according to Kurama. And as they completely go around Kuwabara's sword swing, they all hit him at once, hitting him mainly in his chest area. But, I think one of them hits him in the face too, with incredible force, and knocks him away. So now everyone's just like, oh, okay, so this kid's not playing. So pretty much, basically, the Serpent Yo-Yo infuses Rinku's yo-yos and strings with his own spirit energy, especially since they're directly connected to his fingers on these little ring loops that he wears. So utilizing that and his spirit energy, he can adjust the direction and angles that the yo-yos move independently. Each individual yo-yo, not just on like one direction per hand. So you can have them come attack you at all different sides and angles without having to worry about you necessarily deflecting all of them. So, pretty simple, pretty straightforward technique, very interesting. You could probably think of a lot of uses you can do with this. Rinku, the main thing we see Rinku use his yo-yos for throughout the series, because we do see him in Season 4, but we don't see him in action a lot in Season 4 during the Demon World tournament. But one of his most popular and favorite tricks is one we see at the end of this episode. So as Kuwabara is trying to evade another hit from these yo-yos, we get a cool little shot of Rinku slinging them up, and Kuwabara attempting to block by using his double spirit swords as kind of like wrenches or like crowbars to wrench out and lift up the arena tiles up off the floor and kind of make makeshift walls to guard him. But these yo-yos aren't only enhanced for maneuvers in mid-air, they're enforced for strength. So they're crushing through each tile with ease, not even slowing down, not even stopping for an instant. Again, landing another direct hit on Kuwabara to around his chest area and one to the face. But we then see his spirit sword get knocked away and the energy disappears because it's separate from his body. And we see Rinku's most popular little move. He wraps the strings around each one of Kuwabara's limbs, his wrist and his ankles, and holds them up in the air as if he was like a living kite. He then starts slamming Kuwabara into the ground as he holds them up with these yo-yos. So this is pretty much the cliffhanger. Yusuke's still asleep, the masked fighter's still silent. Keiko, Shizuru, and Botan are just about to enter the arena, I believe, if they haven't already. Koema's watching from the stands like, golly, Kuwabara's getting pummeled. Hiei's like, look, nigga, I told you. And Kurama's like, no, don't count him out just yet. As he's being tossed back and forth. The Rikuya-Kai team watching quietly as Rinku dismantles Kuwabara. And the whole stadium is cheering for Rinku to kill this human. No one is on Kuwabara's side. Kuwabara seems stuck and can't be freed. And he's in a situation where he's just going to have to take a beating until he can get his hands unlocked. And we end on that note. We literally end season 1 on that note. Kuwabara about to be slammed hard as fuck. And that's it. They roll credits, they do the next time, or they do the next time, then they roll credits. And that's it. That is the end of season 1 of Yu Yu Hakusho. So I kind of find it interesting that the first half of the first fight of the tournament is technically a season 1 episode. Because it's like they could have easily just had a 26 episode season for season 1. And then had season 2 start from the boat on the way to Hanging Neck Island with the preliminary match, and then had this first half of the first fight be the second episode of season 2. So I never understood why Yu Yu Hakusho seasons were 28 episodes each instead of 26. It was kind of weird to me. But that's what they decided to do, and I think it's interesting. It's an interesting cliffhanger to think about, because you get to the end of season 1 and you're just like, fuck, what happened to Kuwabara? Sorry, we're about to wrap up. I just want to give my final thoughts on this. I am tired. It's 2 a.m. I should not have started recording this late. My fault entirely. But people are gonna like, what happened to Kuwabara? Well, you're gonna have to watch season 2 and find out. So it's weird. Season 2 starts off in the middle of this fight, essentially. And we got a lot more exciting fights to talk about for the Yu Yu retrospective, but you're going to have to now start listening to that on the YouTube channel. Like I said, I'll link it in the description for the podcast below when this episode is uploaded, so you can check that out, see how you feel about it. I'm going to try to eventually cut out and clip the retrospectives from previous podcast episodes so I can add them to the playlist for retrospectives. That way, when I start doing the season 2 ones, the season 1 parts can be uploaded independently in that same playlist, and you won't have to like go through a full podcast episode looking for those episode retrospectives. But that's about it for that episode. It's very simple, not a lot, nothing too exciting to talk about. Excuse me. The major highlights were, seeing adult Koenma, the first fight with Rinku, Kuwabara's progress thus far, and of course his dreaded fate cliffhanger. So episode 27, episode 29 is if we'll see what happens with Kuwabara and Rinku's fight. But like I said, you'll have to watch it on the YouTube channel. And I think that about covers it, guys. I think that's it. I think that's our season 2. I think we're good. Like I said, nothing too exciting, just kind of like the season 1 finale, very anticlimactic. I feel like this season finale, sorry for the chair squeaking as well. I feel like for this season finale, I think it was better than the season 1 finale. I feel like I had much better structure for this one. I had shit planned out better. And we did the damn thing, and we talked. We had a fun time. I had fun time at least. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. And like I said, 2 weeks off. 2 weeks of no podcast episodes. So on August 14th, Friday, August 14th, episode 55 is when we will officially start season 3 of the 40 Ounce Fridays podcast. And this season's going to only be 21 episodes or 20 episodes or something like that, because I'm going to end it on episode 75. That way we get on track with making each season 25 episodes instead of 28. I feel like it's easier to do, putting it in quarters. I think that's better. So we'll do that, and we'll see how that goes. But, damn, I want to thank you guys again for 2 seasons, 54 episodes of just fucking cars, right when I was going to do my little goodbye speech. It's like 2 a.m. I'm going to edit this tomorrow. I'm tired. I have to go to work. Luckily, I don't have to be there till 9, so I can still get a good 6 hours of sleep before I got to get up and go. But, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. If I didn't have listeners, I probably wouldn't continue doing this. I'd probably find another way to talk about my nerd shit somehow, but the podcast has been very therapeutic in doing that and talking about, personal feelings towards certain things, whether it be nerd culture issues, games, music, more. Oh, another thing. J. Cole released 2 new tracks today. I believe they're called Let me look them up really quick. I just listened to them on YouTube. They're both fire. This will be the last bit of news we talk about right now. 2 new tracks. I believe his next upcoming project is going to be called Fall Off. The 2 tracks are The Climb Back and Lion King on Ice. Please check those out. Both dope tracks. If I had to pick one I liked more, The Climb Back. But Lion King on Ice is great too. But yeah, he released some new music, so check that out. Like I was saying, whether it be music, games, anime/manga, movies, recommendations, just nerd opinions, comments, my opinions, my hot takes, all that good shit. Regardless of what it is, I'm glad I'm able to share it with you guys. I'm glad, the few people that do listen and take the time out of their day to sit down and hear me rant and nerd out about shit, continue to. So, yeah, season 3 will be coming August 14th. Thank you guys so much. I'm tired, but believe me when I say I love you guys. And I thank you guys every single day for supporting me through all of this. And let's continue. Let's hope we keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and doing more things. Hopefully season 3 is the best season yet. Hopefully it's the best sounding, the best structured, the most exciting, the most impactful. I'll do my best to do that as long as you guys continue to tune in every week. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks from now. What will we be talking about on season 3? I don't know. It's kind of far from now. Technically it's 3 weeks. I got 3 weeks to plan that out before I actually have to record. So we'll figure it out when we get there. But thanks, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I will catch you on August 15th, or August 14th, I'm sorry. August 14th for Season 3. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. It has been real. I will catch you guys later. And maybe I'll have a special outro music. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Love you guys. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Boo this man!
HiK-Upp. Okay. Excuse the anxiety. Okay. Look. You got me thinking if it was really worth it, putting in all of this effort just to end up less than perfect. But aren't our great defenses something used for our protection? Or are they just another way to force out imperfections? I guess I'm just defective, pointed in the wrong direction. The library in my head is one fucked up selection. Now children pay attention and you'll receive attention, cause after this I'll ask you an array of questions. A simple poster is just another banner, another campaign slogan, making unique blander in the taste inside my mouth. Is it making it any better? Bitter sweetness of arguments and cold December weather. But anywho, who am I and who are you? And if we're on the subject matter, what the fuck you gonna do? Cause when the shit hits the fan, are you going to take a stand? I prefer if you stay put, keep on holding my hand, cause I'm just a little lost. Keep off topic, and if we're on the topic, then yes, I lost it. Don't worry about me, I'm not sinking. It's just after every thought, shit got me thinking, and I'm just a little lost. Keep off topic, and if we're on the topic, hell yes, I lost it. Don't worry about me, I'm not sinking. It's just after every thought, you got me thinking. You got me thinking. You got me thinking. You got me. You got me. You got me thinking. You got me thinking. You got me. You got me. You got me thinking if they told me the truth, or are you just confusing me to sweeten your own tooth? Cause you get type 2 when you're torturing me, and then I cut it close and eye to eye, we cannot see. I guess I'm just